Seen this article on BBC website. I want my heart attack story to inspire people to live life. 22-year-old had a heart attack. I a few years ago was reading this. I think when you're in your childhood, it's my point of making a video on this is I think it's actually a bit of a daft article. Actually, it's a bit silly, and the reason I say that is because when you're say taking, I think it's say age 20, 25 under, childhood up to around the age 18 to 25, say her age or younger, the frequency of heart attacks and strokes is actually very low. It's something like only about 1 in 1 million, or 1 to 2 million or something. It's very low. You do occasionally hear about babies and toddlers of heart attacks. I had a student a few years ago who was 14 and had a stroke, which I couldn't really relate to it. I haven't actually, nobody in my family that I know of has had that problem. They are rare conditions when you're that age, though. Once you hit about 40, I think the frequency of heart attack stroke becomes like 1 in 500, which is still not very common actually. I think it's similar to Down syndrome frequency, although a lot of them terminate in pregnancies, but similar to what Down syndrome used to be if they came to birth. But most people don't need to even think about this. Just eat healthily, do exercise if you can. If you just eat fish and chips all the time and fry-ups and not doing any exercise, you're not helping yourself. But if you try to eat healthily, eat fruit and veg and try to do proper exercise, most people don't have to think about this. As I said, it is pretty rare. Because she's had a problem, suddenly she thinks everybody needs to think about it. Well, you have to sort of live healthily anyway to avoid to keep good health, avoid illnesses and anything. Diabetes or cancers or anything like this. If you eat badly and get too overweight, you can increase the things like cancers and diabetes. And so it's a bit of a silly article, really. Apart from my student who had a stroke and this girl, I don't think I've ever actually met anyone else. I've not met anyone who's had a heart attack at a young age. I don't think even any of my family have had heart attacks that I know of. It is quite rare. You hear occasionally. It's not like 1 in 1 or 2 million frequency, which is very rare in childhood or your youth days. I think once you get to about 500 is still pretty rare. So common would be, I suppose, 1 in 100. One in some conditions become as much as 1 in 50, like giving birth age 45 plus. Down syndrome is almost 1 in 50 when you're that age, but that's quite high risk. But it doesn't mean it's guaranteed to have it. But yeah, it is pretty rare. It's very 1 in 2 million is very rare. Yeah, it's very real for her, but she's had it. But for most people, it's something you don't even have to think about. Just eat healthily, do exercise, and being stressed out and anxious probably increases your chance of getting these things as well. Hope I don't get one, but I try to eat healthily and do exercise. No history of it